Hello, hello, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. Let me get my photo up here. It is Jen with Jen's Den Art, and I am excited to be here today. Let's see if I'm actually working. Yeah, I'm on. I'm on. Hello, hello. Come on in, everybody. Say hi. Tell us where you're watching from. And get ready to have some fun. Let me find my photo we're going to be working on today. Here it is. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me, by the way? Can you hear me? Let me find my microphone. I don't know where my microphone is. Let me find my photo. It is called, what did I call it? This is a photo, y'all, that I took. Let me see if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes, you can hear me. Yay. Thank you. This is a photo. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to be in the corner right here while everybody's coming on, saying hello. So let's start again. Say hi. Give me a shout out because we have some prizes to give away today. If you give me some love and SHARE or sprinkle the love, I would really appreciate it. Today is day 2 or number 2 of In the Den with Jen. And I hear a little echo in the room because I don't have anything on the walls yet. I just moved rooms again. Believe it or not, I moved again. Not houses, just rooms. Because the lighting is so much better in this room than it was in my other room. So we're going to have a much better experience here, and it's already working out great. So this is a photo that I want to share with you. You know, if you follow me a lot, you know that I love to paint from photos and I love to have references. And I teach from references probably over half of the time. I teach from references. And I teach you how to focus on the tones of the photo versus what you're going to put on your canvas and all that good stuff. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus some more on that that bright and that light and dark. Okay, if you notice in this photo, there's a lot of contrast. Specifically, all you kind of see in this photo is just a little bit of blue and black and white. That's all you really see. But this is what we're going to do with this photo. I'm going to show you. Let me move the photo. Well, I can't really move it. I'm going to show you right here. Okay, you can kind of see. Let me try to get it right. It's kind of hard. Like that. Nope. Like this. Higher. Okay. See what I did? I changed the color scheme completely, but I still worked with the lights and the darks. And then I did it again. I practiced and I did it again here. Okay. And my color scheme is a little bit different. It's a little more on the warmer side. Actually, it's a combination of cools and warms together. But you can see how I just totally changed the colors, worked with a lot of different colors, but I was still able to produce a makeup of the photo, even though I used a variety of colors. Do y'all see that? Which one do y'all like better? Let me move the photo out of the way and y'all tell me. And let me move my face out of the way. Okay, so look at that. Which one do you like better? Tell me, the right or the left? I'd love to hear what you think. The one on the right. Hello, Miss Cindy. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Margaret and Dawn and Rose. So glad y'all are here. Hey, Miss Pat. Yvonne. Jackie says the left. The right, the right. Correct. Okay, so I'm not looking for one over the other. Okay, the right, the left, the left. So it's kind of like 50-50, right? Okay, I want you to notice the difference in the two. There's not a lot of difference. This one's just got a little bit of a brighter finish than this one does. Okay, and it's because of the colors that all right, so it's a hard decision, right? Because they're both beautiful. They're both, they're very impressionistic. Oops, I'm so sorry. That is a phone call, a potential spam phone call. It should come right back on. There we go. I forgot to turn my phone off of phone calls. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're actually going to study both of these, and I'm going to repaint these again with y'all, okay? Taking a sip of my water since I am dehydrated today. All right. And going with the right. Yeah, I like the right as well. I really do, because it's just a little bit brighter. It's just a little bit brighter because of the tones that I decided to use in it. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. All right, so what are we working on today? We are working on, let me get my camera to be a little less crooked. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to do a little color study today. We are working on an acrylic sheet. I'm going to tear this out. It's just basically like, it says it's acrylic paper, acrylic pad, 246 pounds. So it's like super thick. Okay, I've been using these a lot lately. But it's kind of like a watercolor paper, actually. It's not really anything, I don't think it's that different from just watercolor paper, but I like it. I like the way it moves. I like the way it works. So what I'm going to do, the way that I did this color study earlier, is I took my paper like this, and I'm going to take you through the whole process if I can find my tape. And I am going to take, this is just artist tape. You could use any kind of tape you want. All right. And thank you for sprinkling. The right is my favorite. Good. Yeah, I like the right as well. I'm going to go with the center. I'm going to eyeball this. I'm going to put down a piece of tape right in the center. I mean, it's my center. It's just an eyeball center. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And that's going to break my paper up into two parts, and I'm going to be working on both parts. Okay. So this is super fun. And this is where I'm going to put my paint so y'all can see what I'm doing. And this was my hairpin that I had earlier. All right, so I'm going to tape this off all the way around. And what I'm doing is I'm putting the tape like right in the center. The tape is probably about an inch wide. And I'm putting half of the tape on the paper and half of the tape off the paper. Let me do these two first. Then I'll come down the sides. Okay, so this is going to be super fun because, again, when you look at that picture, and I actually took that picture, y'all. That is a picture from when we went on a cruise and we went to Canada. I think that is in Nova Scotia. I'm not sure where it was. I forgot. I'd have to look it up. And the sun was going down, so it had like a lot of glare on it, which you could tell. But to me, that's the kind of photo that you want when you're trying to do when you're trying to look at the tones of your actual painting that you're going to create. Because I'm going to put the painting I'm going to put the photo, I'm sorry, in the right top corner. Give me just a second. I see my cat's outside. She's looking at me in the window. Let me find it again. Paintings, reference photos. Let me put it in the right-hand corner for y'all to see. Here we go. Okay, it's going to show up in just a second. And you will have, there we go. Okay, you can see, I know it's kind of tiny, but we are going to use that little photo right there. And then I can also, every once in a while, I can just show you right here. I can pop it up so you can see what we're working with. All right. Okay, so get comfortable, get you a cup of coffee, get whatever you want to drink. I'm drinking my daily water, liquid IV, and we are gonna start this. I'm actually going to sketch this out on both of them. I'm gonna start with, this is just a charcoal pencil. I'm gonna start with the horizon. It's about in the center. All right, and then I have this big rock right here. Just gonna come down and around. And I have all this foliage. These buildings. Just a very, very basic sketch. Here. Here's my buildings. They go a little bit into the water as well. Comes around there. That gives me a pretty good idea. All right, so let's do that again. I'm going to do that again here. I'm going to do my horizon. And I'm going to do this rock. Here. Then all of my foliage right there. And then these were some kind of plant or something that they had out here. I'm just going to put these buildings out right here. Okay, so I have two sketches of the same exact thing, and this is what I'm going to do. This photo, if I start explaining it to y'all, I'm going to sound really dumb, but I'm just going to explain it to y'all anyway. So this is the photo from when we went to Canada. It was at different times of the day, the water goes really high and like extremely high. And then later on in the day, it gets like extremely low, or vice versa. Like the water changes levels a lot. And I don't remember what they call it. Oh, and it's the water's like coming in one way and then it's going out the other way, depending on the level of the water. Okay. I know that sounded like totally stupid because I don't do very well at explaining those kinds of things. The tidal bore, yeah, like when it's low and high tide, it was like if it's high tide, the water flows in one direction, but then if it's low tide, the water's flowing in the opposite direction. I don't know. I forgot what they call it. But that's where we were when I took that picture, because we went twice. We went in the morning and then we went in the evening to see the difference in the water. So I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called. The tidal bore. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Margaret. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, it was pretty neat. It was very neat. All right. So here we go. This is what we're going to do. We're going to start with the top, which is going to be our sky. But we're going to use two different blues. Okay. We're going to use two different blues. And one of the blues that we're going to use is going to be more of almost like a purplish blue. It's called ultramarine blue. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break my colors up into, All right, this is going to be the, let me just write on here so you know, so you can see what I'm doing. This is going to be the left colors, and this is going to be the right colors. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put my paint. So this is ultramarine blue. All right, and then for the other sky, I'm going to use more of a cobalt. I'm actually going to use a cobalt blue. You can see the difference in the two colors. You see how one's lighter than the other? So watch what happens. I'm using a bright brush, okay? I want my painting, if you remember, I want my painting, if you look at this, it's very, very, loose, very loose, okay? And I want my painting to be loose. It almost looks like it's like in Arizona or something, doesn't it? Because of the orange. So maybe I won't use as much orange. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of white on both. There's titanium white and titanium white. All right, so let's look at the difference in these colors. I'm going to start with the ultramarine. You see it's got a little bit of a violet tone to it. And my paintbrush is a little bit moist. Did not start with a dry paintbrush. But one of the things I'm going to bring to your attention, because I like to explain what I'm doing, I am using a large, bright brush. Okay, by bright, let me explain to you what I mean by a bright brush. It's a flat brush, but the bristles are shorter than a normal flat brush. Okay, the bristles are not as long. All right, and that's why it's called a bright brush. You get more control over it. You can see the difference between just a regular flat brush and a bright brush. Okay, but I mean, you can still call it a flat brush with short bristles. It doesn't really matter. All right, so I'm going to use just these two colors at first. Okay, at first, I'm just going to use these two colors. And I'm just going to get in here a little bit. Let's go with a little more white down here, right at the edge. Now, you also have to use a lot of paint when you're painting on this kind of surface and with acrylics, okay? If you're going to paint loose, you have to use a lot of paint, and you have to move. You don't have to move quickly, but it helps keep your painting loose if you move quickly. All right, just go a little bit up there, not much more there. Okay, so this is kind of like a color study that I'm doing. I'm going to take us off of autofocus and put us on manual so that it doesn't keep focusing in and out. All right, and then when I go to the cobalt blue, you can see the difference in the blue. Okay, this one looks a lot cooler. This one's more warm. Okay, and the reason why I know that is because your warm colors are going to be your reds, your yellows, your oranges. And I can tell by this blue, there's a purple tone. And to make purple with blue, you have to use red. So this is kind of like a combination of red and blue together. Okay, so you can see the difference in the two tones. And again, there's no right or wrong. Like, both of these paintings are beautiful. There's no right or wrong, but it's just, what do you want? What do you want to get out of your painting? Do you want it to have more of a cool tone to it, or do you want it to have more of a warm tone to it, So that is just one of the things that we're talking about today. All right, you can see the difference. This is more of a purpley blue, and this is more of just a regular old blue, a beautiful sky blue. Okay, so I'm going to clean my paintbrush off. Hello, Miss Barbara. Hi, Miss Beth. All right, so that's the beginning. Okay, that is the beginning. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add some, looking at our photo, I know we can't really go, like I said before, you can't really go with the photo, looking at it right here and saying, okay, I'm going to paint these colors. There's no colors in the photo. Okay, so this is where we just use our own imagination. And we look at the lights and what we're going to do is we're going to look at the lights and the darks. All right. I feel like by looking at the lights and the darks, I feel like I should have gone just a little bit lighter in my sky. So I'm going to do so. I'm going to just add just a little bit more white in here and let it kind of rub off. All right, so now I'm going to work on the water that's coming in right here. Okay, I'm going to work on the water that's coming in right here. And that's actually kind of like a, it's almost like a gray. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some burnt umber on both the left and the right. I'm going to use burnt umber, but I'm not going to use burnt umber by itself. On the right, I'm going to use an orange. I'm just going to use an orange. It's just basically a bright orange. But on the left, I'm going to use more of, not this one. I'm going to use more of a red. So let me grab a red. Let's see. I'm going to use a cadmium red deep. Okay. All right. Now I have the same color here. I have the burnt umber, but then on the left one, I'm going to use more of a deep red, cadmium red deep. And then on the right one, I'm going to use more of an orange, a brighter orange. Okay, so let's start on the left. This is going to make, I'm going to make like a gray. Okay, I'm going to take some brown and some red and some white and some blue. And that's way too much red, so I'm going to mix that up some more. Let's get some more of this white in here. If you're going to use all these crazy colors like I'm using, oops, that's too pink. I need to let's bring in some green. I need to bring in my green. My green that I'm going to use is a sap green. And I'm going to use sap green for both. Sap green, sap green. Okay, so the green's going to tone this down a bunch. Let's get that going. Get a little bit of that blue. I'm just kind of mixing all the colors together and I'm trying to make like a grayish brownish color. Let's go with a little bit more of that blue. There we go. That's more of what I want. I want it a little bit lighter. Okay, so I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to start with this. It's got a little bit of red in it. That's okay. Let's get a little bit more blue going in there. Keeping it really loose. It's kind of dark right now, but we're going to come back with some more shades of that. I'm going to add a bunch of white. Okay, that's all I'm going to do on that side. Now I'm going to clean my paintbrush off, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to use a different group of colors. All right, so I'm going to use some of this blue. I'm going to use some of this orange. I'm going to use a teeny bit of this burnt umber. I'm going to use the same green. So I'm using the burnt umber and the green on both paintings. The same burnt umber and green on both paintings. What I'm changing is the blues and the reds. Or the oranges, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, this is way too green, so I need to calm that down. Just add a little bit of this orange. Okay, so that's a pretty color. I like that one. It's a little bit yellow. You can see more yellow tones in this, which I like. See that? All right, so this is a little green. It's a little bit of like a green gray. Let me try to add a little bit more blue, so it's giving me a little bit more of an aqua. I like that color. Okay, so that's happening because this orange has a lot more yellow tones, like all of your warms. There's a lot more of your warms in that yellow, that orange color. And so that color study is really good. I like that a lot. I'm going to add just a little bit of white. Right in there. Look at that. All right, look at the difference. I really like it already. Okay, cleaning my paintbrush off. Cleaning my paintbrush off. And now I'm going to come back with those darks. You know, a lot of people, when they paint, they start with the darks. I just started with the lights, and then I'm going to come back with the darks on top. It's totally up to you, because the more layers you add, the more fun you can have with it. So I don't really use that many rules when it comes to, you know, do the dark first and then come back with the light later. We're going to end up going light, dark, light. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're just going to kind of add layers. Now for the darks, what I'm using is for the left side, I'm using the ultramarine blue with the green and the brown. Okay, I'm using the ultramarine blue with the green and the brown. I'm not using black. I'm just mixing these three colors together. Let me pull in just a little bit more. And basically, I am just starting with those colors first, just to get that dark layer down. You can see it's kind of a greenish color. I'm not using black. I'm just using just a darker tone of those three colors mixed together. And you'll see how it changes as we use more lighter colors in there. So let's go there, and then right up here. So I'm focusing on my darks right now. Focusing on all my darks. Where do I want all these dark colors? I'm just creating tones. I'm not creating shapes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really worried about being particular about, you know, the actual, like a lot of you say, I want to learn how to paint looser. Well, it's basically just a mental programming for you to paint looser. sometimes you'll catch yourself eventually painting loose, like I'm painting right now. And then you'll see yourself getting tighter as you're finishing up the painting. Does that happen to a lot of you? You'll start getting tighter as you're finishing up the painting. Okay, now let me come down at the bottom as well and just give it a good go down here with these colors. Yeah, at the end, you start making it, wanting it to make perfect. Okay, so to me, that's just a mental game you're playing with yourself because you're thinking, okay, like for example, if you're a tribe sister, okay, if you're a tribe sister and you know that, how many of you start thinking, oh, I'm going to post this to our Facebook group and I want everybody to see it and I want them to like it. And you start having a little anxiety and you're like, I'm afraid that it's not perfect enough and I'm going to present a piece of art that others will not appreciate if I don't have those details. So I need to work in it a little bit more and get all those details in. How many of y'all feel like you do that? Because before I post it to the tribe, I want to make sure that it looks good so everybody likes it. Okay, well, that is just a mental game that you're playing with yourself if you're doing that. All right, anybody can relate? Me, yes, or comparing it to others. Exactly. So we all know that positive reinforcement is so important, especially in the tribe. You know, when we post to our Facebook group, everybody wants to get that positive reinforcement. And y'all, have you ever seen any negative reinforcement in our tribe group? I mean, seriously. We are just the most loving group and everybody loves everybody's work because everybody's work is going to be so different. And I think that's what we love about it so much, is to be able to see everybody and see how, even though we're all following the same directions, we all end up coming up with something completely different. And that's the joy of sharing all of our work in the tribe. And I think it's more about that than it is about, I think it's about seeing everybody else's style and seeing how they all change. You know, they are all different and they're all beautiful. Everybody has, there's no right or wrong in your paintings. Now I understand if you have a question, you're like, I can't get my shading right. It doesn't look, like last night when we were painting our sunflower. My sunflower didn't look like it was drooping down like I wanted it to. So we talked about how to make it look like it was facing a different way. Like if you want to do things like that, then of course that is, that's where we help each other out. But yeah, how much fun is that to be able to share your work and get all of that positive reinforcement? I just love it. All right, so as you can see, I went on to the right side and I'm using the cobalt blue instead of the ultramarine blue. That's the only difference, but you can see the beautiful, it's almost like an aqua color coming out in that. I love it. So I'm mixing those three colors together and I'm going to just fill that in just a little bit more. These are going to be a little different. All right. Now let's bring all of this in. This is just the darks. That's all I'm doing right now is I'm just focusing on the darks. We're going to lighten this up. Don't worry. I'm going to lighten this up. I'm using like the same value, not the same value, but the same amount of blue as I am brown as I am green. So it's kind of like a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, if you were wondering. I'm just mixing all three together and it's making that that dark color there. Okay, you can already see, look at that. Look how pretty. They're both gorgeous, okay? They're both gorgeous paintings, but they're both so different from each other. And the main thing is I'm using an ultramarine blue here, and I'm using a cobalt blue here. And then now we're going to start getting into the reds and the oranges, and we're going to mix. Let's do this. We're going to take some of this red. Oh, I didn't clean my paintbrush off, so that was a boo-boo on me. Let me clean my paintbrush off again. Yes, exactly, Miss Cecile. Getting away from those habits of doing all of the little details and stuff. That's really difficult for a lot of people. And it's a habit. That's exactly what it is. It's just a habit. I'm going to add some burnt sienna to this. Let me find my burnt sienna really quick. I think the burnt sienna will bring out, here we go. I think the burnt sienna will bring out another pop. So I'm just going to add a little bit on each. I don't want to contaminate my colors, although I just did right there. Forgot to clean my paintbrush. Okay, so let's go back to the left one here. I'm going to take my red and my white, and that's of course going to make like a pink. And I'm going to mix it with this gray that I have here. And a little bit of that blue. And I'm going to make a beautiful pinkish color. All right, and I'm just going to start bringing in some of these reds in here. On the water. I'm kind of like in my medium tones right now. Okay, I'm in my medium tones. So yeah, if you follow me a lot, I talk about 3 different tones. I talk about your darks, your lights, and your mediums. Okay, and so right now, I'm just adding a little bit of those medium tones in there. And I'm going to go a little bit more with the blue. I'm going to add some more white. A little bit more of a purplish tone. Now notice that I'm not switching up. I'm just using these colors in here because that's what's going to keep all of those tones consistent throughout the painting. Like the blue is, you can find this ultramarine blue in the sky. You can find the ultramarine blue well, I kind of made it look like the ground. You can find it in the water. You can find it in the rock. Okay. You can't see the actual, exact ultramarine blue color, but you can see that it was mixed in there with other colors. And that's what makes it really, really work well. I'm just adding some white now. Okay. And I'm going to start, I added a little bit of burnt sienna to my paintbrush. Just going to start having a little bit more movement. All right, I'm going to clean that off. And then I'm going to go to the other one. I'm going to use the orange. And the white. Okay, and I'm going to start coming in here. Let's get some more white going on. Now I'm pulling in a little bit of that blue. Just kind of dry brushing right there. A little more white. Trying to make it have a lot of tones on the left side right here. All right, let's see what I can do with a little bit of this sap green. You can already see how pretty that is. All right, clean that off. Oh, I just kind of let it happen, Mrs. Seal. That's not very slow, very slow. The slower you are, the more detailed you're going to be. You know, we talk about that a lot in our tribe. Okay, so I really want this water layer to have more blues in it. All right, so I'm going to focus on that just a little bit. I'm going to grab on the left side, I'm going to grab that blue and white. And I'm going to try to bring a little bit of that on top. And then I'm just going to tip right on the tip. I'm going to grab the white. And if you look at the photo, I'm going to show you again the photo that I'm looking at. All right. Focus on where you see those bright colors in the water, because that's the actual glare. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, all right, I want to really make those areas pop where that glare is. And I'm going to make it really, really light. So I'm just using white. That's it. And I'm going to add that right in here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to really focus in on those bright areas. Use that white. I'm using my finger to kind of blend it in a little better. Okay. Now let's go back to, I'm going to use some burnt sienna and the dark brown and green. Burnt sienna, dark brown and green. It's actually going to be the same color on both because I'm not using the reds or the oranges or the blues. I'm just using burnt sienna, brown and green. I'm just going to come back with a little bit of a darker layer. Okay, I'm really liking the right one better than the left one. What do y'all think? Need to get some darker darker shades in here. So see what I was saying earlier? I said we're going to go dark, light, dark, light, light, dark, light, dark. We're going to switch around and we're going to make it work. And the more layers you have, I need to work this in a little bit more. The more layers you have, the more I'm going to add a little bit of I keep on going just like this. Have you noticed that? I've been only bringing my paintbrush from right to left. And so it's starting to look too liney to me, like just straight lines horizontally. So I've got to add some variety to my paint strokes to be able to get rid of that look that I'm creating. So on this little hill here, I'm going to add some different strokes that come down some. So I'm going to go back to this red and this burnt sienna and the white. And I'm going to grab some blue as well. And I'm just going to add some different strokes that, let's go with some more blue, that don't give me such a, a linear look. All right. And then on the right, I'm going to take this orange and blue and the burnt sienna, a little bit more orange. I like these colors better. They just make me happier. Okay. Now I'm going to just kind of make a few little adjustments. I'm going to add some green in here. Just sap green. It's just sap green. Nothing else. I'm going to let it just kind of do its thing. I mean, it's the same color, so it doesn't matter where you grab it from. All right. A couple of, let's get some more white because I need just some clean white right here. A couple of things we're going to add to it that's going to be the same on both. I'm going to just use this same paint. Y'all, I've been painting with the same paintbrush the whole time. I'm sure y'all noticed that. Okay, it did not change. And the paintbrush is kind of big. So I hope you notice. I'm trying to get this gray. I want this gray color right here. And I'm going to make some of the smoke right there with a little bit of white in it. Okay, clean that off. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this gray that I had down here. This is more of a greenish gray. Let's see if I can make it a little bit more. Let's get rid of some of that green. That's a little bit better. And then I'm going to come up here. You know what? I want it just a little bit lighter. All right. Let's clean that off. I wonder what would happen if I just add the red. Oops, I did not mean to do that. And not make it purple. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. That red's super, super red. So I'm going to tone it down with a little bit of brown. I'm not liking it. Do not like it. Do not like it, my friend. So what we do is we go back to what we had before. And we just cover it up. A little bit of green in there. All right. Clean that off. And then we're going to make just a perfect circle for the sun. Not a perfect circle. I'm not doing a good job with that at all. I'm just going to make like a circle with white up here. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm not going into a lot of detail with it. I'm just making a circle. And then we're going to do the tree. The tree is I'm going to take burnt umber and green. I'm going to kind of use that same color scheme there. And I'm going to add a tree right in here with the same paintbrush. I'm going to go all the way down. And I'm going to make some small little branches off of the tree. Make the tree go really high. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other one. So I'm going to make my paintbrush flat. And I'm barely touching, y'all. I'm barely touching. Burnt sienna and green. And then I'm going to come back with some white. I'm going to just tap in the white so that the tree can actually pop off of the background. A little bit more. That's not white at all, is it? It is a nasty brown now. So I'm going to clean that off. And I'm going to start fresh with a little more white on the edge. All right. I want to soften this edge right here. So I'm actually just going to take some of this darker color and just kind of blend in, kind of make it look like there's some branches or leaves or stuff all right here. And it's going to help that. Right here, you need dark, 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 dark. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side with this kind of like reddish, brownish color. I'm just going to soften all of this up right about here. I need to get rid of those harsh lines. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my paintbrush and I'm just smudging it on the painting surface with almost like a dry brush feel to it. And then I'm going to add just a few little lighter colors in here. Just a few. A little more highlights right at the end. Already did that one there. Just go there, there. And a bit of just kind of getting those lighter colors to pop. All right. Now, one area I missed that I'm going to go back and fix, and that's right back here. I'm going to add some darkness right here. And then on this one, do the same. Okay, so the live reveal happens now. And I say that because this is my favorite part. You start taking the tape off. And you can see what you just created with a better view, you know? So, a very good color study. Here I've got more of my purples and reds, and here I've got more of my oranges. And I really like both because they both have a different, oh, that's gonna tear. So let me try this way. They both have a different feel to them. All right, look at that. Look how pretty. All right, so let me show you the first ones. I didn't use the same exact colors in the first ones. I used, what did I use? I used alizarin crimson. You see this bright wine color? I used alizarin crimson on this side. So these are not the same. I used a different color scheme on these. But look at these. Look at this. How pretty. I like these better, actually. They're more subtle changes in the colors. What do y'all think? You love it. This is just interesting. I have trouble picking out colors, so I think I need to see this. That's exactly right, Miss Judy. Sometimes you just have to do a color study. Like this to me is just a study. It is not a final product. So maybe I want to paint this on a 16 by 20 and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I really like this color scheme better because it speaks to me more. So then I would take this idea and then I would actually take it onto a larger canvas and I could do something I could do something with that, and I feel more confident in my actual process that I'm going to go through. So something that you have to remember whenever you're painting, practice is a good thing. This is a practice for me. This is nothing that I'm going to do anything with, but just use it as a study guide for me and my colors. And I may even turn it over and write on the back, which is a great idea, by the way. Write on the back what colors you use to create this. And so when you want to go bring it onto a real big canvas or something, then you already know what you're doing. Okay. You already have an idea of what colors you want to use to make that that particular painting. So I hope this helps any of you. It helps me to have the opportunity to do some deeper studying into different colors that you would want to use. And yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing on in the Den with Jen, because I'm taking art classes on the side, and these art classes are helping me understand a lot of things better that I want to share with you. So yeah, I hope you come back, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. It's every other Wednesday, basically. It's the first and third Wednesday of every month. We're going to be doing some different techniques, and I'm going to share some things that I've learned with you. And you can share your work in our free Facebook group. And I cannot wait to see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm not leaving yet. Don't leave. Please don't leave. I forgot. I have some giveaways. Don't leave. Share again. Sprinkle again. Hang on. Sprinkle again. Tell them to come back. I'm so bad about this, y'all. Okay, I have 2 things I'm going to give away today. 2 things. Hang on. 2 things I'm going to give away today. One of them I have to do something with because they're going to go bad if I don't do anything with them. Okay, I've been having these for way too long, and I need to, I don't use them. So I need to give them to people who need paints. This is Artist Loft brand. It's a 24-piece set. I'll show you all of the colors. They're beautiful colors, and they last a long time. Like, you can use this for a long time. They also have mediums. They have, what do they have? They have a gloss gel medium, an iridescent medium, a modeling paste, a slow dry blending medium, and they have 2 palette knives, 2 plastic palette knives in here. So what I want you to do, Michael's already doing it. I want you to just say me in the comments. Okay, just say me. And I have to go to the Facebook group, and then I'm going to close my eyes and pick a winner on the live, actually. So let me go, not in the group. I have to go to Jen's Den. Let's see. Okay, so whenever you're ready, I'm going to close my eyes and pick a winner, and I'm going to go now. And it is Phyllis Bravant. You are my winner for this paint set. Okay, let me write that down before I forget, because I know I will forget. Phyllis Bravant. So I'm going to mail this to you, and I want you to have fun painting. Phyllis Bravant paints. I have some other things to mail off too, so this will be, I won't forget to mail it. All right, I'm really bad about that. Okay, the other thing is a travel. Y'all, I use this a lot, and it really comes in handy. It is a travel water cup. And I'll show you why it's a travel water cup, because you can't see that, but I'll show you when I put it on. When you screw it on, it's just a plastic top. It has a lid that pops open, and there's a small hole in the middle for your paintbrush to fit in, and you don't have to worry about your paint spilling. I use these all the time. We travel a lot. We travel on airplanes. We travel in the cars. We love to drive, so we drive almost everywhere we go. And it is amazing to use when you are traveling and you don't want to have to worry about your water cup spilling over. You can use it for watercolors. You can use it for acrylics. You can use it for whatever. And they come in, they're really, really good. Okay. So this, I want you to say me, and I'm giving this away too today. So say me, and I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to pick a winner. And Michael Garlock, you are our winner for the water cup. All right, so let me write that down too. And y'all, every time I come on, I have a bunch of stuff to give away because I've been hoarding way too many things in those closets right there. And I have to get rid of them because I want someone to use them, instead of just sitting there. So yeah. All right, guys. Look, one last thing that I forgot to tell you is next Monday and Tuesday, we are going to be painting this in our tribe and mini tribe. I'm just giving you a sneak peek. This is a huge palette board that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And this is our next mini tribe painting. And we will be painting that next live on next Monday and Tuesday in our Tribe and Mini Tribe private Facebook group. So if you want to join us, I'm just going to put the link down here. And the Mini Tribe, I've never done this before. This is the first time I'm doing this. I just wanted to let you know. The Mini Tribe is closing its doors. I usually keep the Mini Tribe open all the time, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm closing the doors and it's only going to open twice a year. Okay. The Mini Tribe is basically one painting a month. The VIP Tribe is one painting a week. We paint together every week and we have a lot of other things that we do in the VIP Tribe. But right now, the VIP Tribe is not open. The Mini Tribe is open. We paint once a month. It's $19 a month, and you get access to the last 24 monthly Mini Tribe paintings in the online classroom. So you get access to a lot of stuff in there, and it is super fun. We have a private Facebook group just for the Mini Tribe as well. So you do get a community in the Mini Tribe as well. All right, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. If you're interested in painting with us, we would love to have you come on. All right, guys. Does anybody have any questions? I'm looking at all my comments. All I see is me. They're going to kick me off of Facebook because we had too many me's. Thank you. Yes, Miss Phyllis, absolutely. Thank you for being here and supporting me and helping me grow my business. I really appreciate that. It means the world to me that you actually come on and share the love with us. We really do appreciate that. All right, guys. Thank you, Miss Beth. We will see you next time. Y'all have a great day. It's beautiful here in Louisiana, so I'm going outside and check my garden and my flowers, and we'll talk to you later. Mwah. Have a blessed day.